Guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, BC Gambler here. I hope you're well. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a long time since I've done a video, actually a public video. I've done videos privately, which I'll show you in a moment, but I haven't done any public videos for quite a while. For two reasons. One is Easter holidays, guys, and secondly, I've been busy on Alphaverse. So if you haven't seen it already, so currently I'm running Alphaverse, and I'm going to bring up my YouTube channel so you can see what I have been up to. Kind of everything leads from this video. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, if you go to my YouTube channel, then it's got unlocked massive profits, reveal the dominance. It's just about Alphaverse. If you want to know what Alphaverse is, if you haven't heard of it, then go to my YouTube channel and watch this one here. And then there's a video here that talks about the strategy that I'm using now. I apologise for that video. There was an error. The gain on my mic was turned to the max, and I didn't notice it until I was editing it. And because it was a 24-hour video, I was not redoing it. So it's got poor mic quality, but the content is important. So you can almost think of that. And then there was a private video here, which is me running it for 11 days and the success I've had of it. And this is almost like a continuation of that as well. I've already taken out a whole chunk of money, and I'm building it back up again. And my plan here is to get this to 200,000 and then have two 100,000 recovery pots. And I think I can leave this running almost indefinitely. So guys, I'm going to show you some maths behind all of this. So like I said, I encourage you to go and watch those videos because it explains it in details. But if we look at, as always, you know, the spreadsheet, do this. I'll attach the spreadsheet to this video so you can download it. But basically what we're chasing is a 10x win on dice. And we're letting 11.12% on every loss. And yeah, and every bet we're switching between bet high or bet low. And that's why it's called 10x flip-flop. Because that's basically what we're doing. And for some miraculous reason, it's amazingly stable. Now, I play it with a 4,000 recovery pot. In fact, when I first started, I played this with two 4,000 recovery pots. And if you can see here, that would take you up to a potential max loss streak here, as calculated as 134 losses in a row before it crashes out. So this is a snapshot in time because I've started this is 3 days, 6 hours, 16 minutes and 20 seconds. In that time, I've wagered $26,000 or 401,000 TRX, and I profited 42,303 or 2,821 over the 3 days, 3 days, 6 hours. And I have to say it's remarkably stable. There's something that came to light in this that there's something that you couldn't calculate out. If you tried to strategize this or design it in the way it works, you couldn't do it. Because believe me, guys, the calculation of the crash point, Alphaverse is fully automated. When one of the bots crashes, it will send out an emergency beacon and it will tip over automatically 4,000 as a recovery, and it pretty much always recovers. Now it calculates that crash point by its balance, and so I have to use a mathematical calculation to work out what the crash point is, and it's done in a configuration file. And so I put a value in there. So I say when the balance is below this certain amount, it is crashed. So when you get to the higher end of the spectrum of these bigger bets, you know, you're not. My base bet, I mean, it is minuscule. It's 0.003 of 1 TRX. Given that 1 TRX is about 6.5 cents, that's nothing, nothing at all. But towards the end, you're talking close to the 400 mark per bet. You can see where it grows exponentially. So the chances of it landing precisely within the bust threshold on a crash using a recovery pot, and then the balance below falling below that is almost 1,000,000 to 1 chance. And guess what, guys? That's exactly what it does. It crashes, and then if it gets past 134, then it's crashed again. And funny enough, the balance is low enough for it to fall within the bust threshold, and so it reports a crash again, and it calls the second recovery pot. And if we look at the maths here, and if I change that figure from 4,000 to 8,000, which is basically what it would do, the max loss streak is 140 now. So let's have a quick peruse through here, because I keep a log of every time. So if you know if any of these go over 140, it double crashed. So the dreaded double crash, as I call it. Right, it was right at the very top there, guys. It had 144 there. That one double crashed. In the duration of this 3 days, I have had one double crash. Okay. And this is the point where I really want to emphasize for people that are currently using Alphaverse, or they want to try this, or you're coming into this new and you're thinking that you want to try this out, thinking this is the panacea and it's going to save you, give you freedom and all those lovely things. I want you to be, just to get real with you guys, and just make you realize that, you know, gambling comes with risk. Gambling is gambling. You should only gamble money that you can afford to lose, and the chances of you hitting a double crash is quite high, believe it or not. So 8,000 is not enough as a recovery pot. So I have a secondary recovery pot which is sitting behind, and that can either be, you know, I'd have a second recovery pot of 100,000. So on top of the 8,000 I've got on there already, I've got a further £100,000 tucked, 100,000 TRX tucked away should I need them. And so if we look at the maths here, so if I change this to 108,000, it brings up max loss rate up to a whopping 165. I've been playing this for almost a month now. I have never seen, the highest number I've seen is 149. I've never seen 150. That doesn't mean it can't happen. All I'm saying is a long, long way short. So I don't think you need 100,000, but I've put 100,000 in just in case. And so if you are going to play this, I just want you to realise you need a reasonable level of funds to basically play this. So if you're going to come in there with just the 2 basic recovery pots, I can say with absolute certainty that you'll probably lose your money. Okay, so if you don't have the means to be able to bail yourself out of a situation, and I'm saying that should be about 100,000 TRX. So, and the second point I really want to make out, and this isn't probably the single most important thing within this. When I'm running 140 bots here, and yeah, if we say that a recovery pot for me is 4,000 TRX, so if we take 4,000 and we divide that by so this figure here, that equals that divided by the number of bots that I've got, 28.57. That means I only need to make 28.57 to break even, and anything above that is profit. I mean, that's a tiny amount, guys. Then the single success factor in this is the number of bots you've got, because you're not increasing your risk. You'll hear me bleat on many times in my previous videos about scaling out, not scaling up. And what I mean by that is you don't increase the bet size, you increase the number of bots. Because that way your risk doesn't increase, but you're just reducing the amount required and the profit to break even. Because when it crashes, you've got a choice to make. You know, you've got a choice to choose to leave it, recover it. The choice is yours. Okay, either you've got funds again to restart it, or you've got enough funds for recovery. And I'm choosing, because I've been running for such a long time now, I'm choosing to let mine run full time. And so, honestly, completely unattended. So I've been AFK for a long time. During most of this Easter, I have not been at my keyboard, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't done any videos. This was remarkably stable. So I plan to run this with two 100,000, and let that run for the whole month, and let's see what we end up with then. You know, my guesstimation is, well, I won't reveal, but you can do some maths here. You can work out how much that's going to make per day. Then you could do some of your own predictions. I don't want to talk numbers because everybody's going to be different. It will come down to the number of bots you've got at the end of the day, and but I'm planning to scale mine out even further. So with the 140 bots that I'm getting 1.4 million bets an hour. So it depends what time of day it is, really. Yeah, sometimes I'm close to 1.5 million, and that is the single biggest thing behind it. That's the secret. The secret there is betting its lowest possible denominator, which is 3 zeros and a 3 of 1 TRX. Okay, and add an 11.12% on a loss, chasing a 10x win. So that's a 9.9% win chance, and then 11.12% on each loss. Switching over every bet. That's why it's called 10x flip flop. And earlier today, I took a snapshot of this, and I say earlier, I was literally in the last few minutes. I just hear you now. This sheet, I just took a snapshot, and I took all of the max loss streaks, and I worked out what the average was across all 140 bots. So I added them all together, and it came to 15,491 losses. Divide it by 140, gets the number of bots I got, and it's 110 is the average loss streak. So covering to 165 is, yeah, and so that's the highest, 144 over 3 days. Now I have had situations where I've had the double hit 3 times in 1 day. So, and then here I am now, 3 days in, and yeah, it's only hit once. So yeah, you can view on that and what it is. You know, I would say don't play this unless you've got the funds to recover it, or go into it with your eyes wide open, knowing that you're at a huge risk at to begin with, and don't cash out anything. Try to build up your cash reserves, like I have here. Actually, I started this off at around about 40,000 TRX, and I've been fortunate and lucky. Just no skill, just pure luck that I've managed to sustain and recover every loss, and gradually build that pot up there to it's almost become like an impenetrable wall. So, and you could do the same. You might get lucky, but realise that would be pure honest luck. What realistically you should do is you should have in reserve in your back end 100,000 TRX for recovery. So I'm hoping that makes sense. So you kind of reach me at a critical point here, because what I want to do, every now and then I just like to drain down, and I'm just not actually going to withdraw anything. I'm just going to put all of the profits into one account, and that just keeps everything neat and tidy. So should I need to call a recovery pot, yeah, I've got them accessible. So let me I'll pause everything. And the way I do it, guys, is I reset every one of these buttons here. If you don't know them, yeah, this button here will reset the dice bot, and when it resets the dice bot, it sets it back to its start balance. It tends to get sort of one cheeky bet in. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes it wins, sometimes it loses. So could be 99.99999, or it could be exactly 100. So we do one here, for example, just reset one, and whatever surplus is above the base start balance, which is defined within the config of the system, so that's exactly 100, that gets put into the vault. So it's neat and tidy. We do this one, this good, but it takes everything out of the vault, then withdraws everything and leaves exactly 100 behind. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reset all of these, and then I have a script that's going to say, well, I can shift all the funds to tip all to all one account, tip all the vaults. I've got a script that does that actually, rather than using that button. But these buttons here, this restarts and this stops the dice bot, this starts the dice bot, and over here I've got the option to tip any player any amount, and or send in vault, the entire vault to any player. Okay, and up here we've got start all, stop all, and yeah, send the vault to all. Like spend who do I want to send all the vaults to. Okay, let me get this done. So we're making note of the time now. It's exactly 1:30. So I'm going to try and do it as quick as possible, and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, I'm done. That took 17 minutes. Just over 17 minutes. 2 minutes quicker than my last time. Last time it took 19 minutes, so I'm getting slightly quicker at this. So it's not bad actually, you know, draining down 100 used to take me hours to do this. Now I've got this down to a finite, guys. So like, final result is we have one account that's got 100,000 in its balance. So I see no reason to delay everything. I can just start it all. I am going to reset the timer and the profit. So I want the bankroll. I'm going to see if I can get an additional 100,000. You know, like I said, I've got an additional 100,000 in reserve should I need it as well. But yeah, hopefully I won't have to touch this now too. I've certainly made another 100,000. Well, if I can create 2 recovery pots of 100,000. So I'm just going to leave this running now. So a few thoughts. First off, if you're interested in Alphaverse, you know, I'm going to warn you right from the very beginning, it's not going to be for everybody, and I'm just going to be open and upfront with that. This video, I just want to get real with everybody, because Alphaverse is quite a complicated thing to get up and running. So it's not for your average person. This is not like downloading a piece of software. It's a whole ecosystem. So you have to think about where you're going to run it, where you're going to host it. You know, you're not going to run in some PCs. This runs on servers, you know. And yeah, you have to know a bit about networking, hypervisors. Yeah, there's an expectation. Now, I do my utmost to train everybody up the best I possibly can. So there's only one route to access to Alphaverse, and that's via my Discord, and I will put a link in the description. And when you come and join them, there's a message sent to you, and it says "I want to be free" title, and that "I want to be free" teaches you all the things that you're going to need to know to be able to run Alphaverse. So I don't just produce those things for the fun of it. I do that to help you. So you can come into my Discord for free. Everybody can join that, but the real meats and bones of my Discord is in the VIP level. And when you get to the VIP level, if I bring up my Discord, making sure I don't show anything sensitive, you get access to things like tutorials and codes, Dicebot codes and Alphaverse code and Qbot code. If you haven't got Qbot, guys, you need Qbot. It's like a mandatory prerequisite if you're going to run Alphaverse. All testing is done on Qbot before I do anything with real money. I'll put a link to their Discord server as well, and they are a friend of BTC Gamblers, and they'll give them $30 discount on Qbot. So if you want Qbot, basically it's the best bot out there for stake original games, but it's not free, and rightly so, because so much development has gone into it. The guy that developed a lot of the Alphaverse also developed the Qbot as well, so I'd do it as a favour. I don't get any money out of it, guys, but he's giving $30 off for BTC Gambler Discord members. So if you are a member of my Discord, you tell him that you come from BTC Gambler Discord, and if you want Qbot, and I say if you're going to run Alphaverse, you're going to need Qbot, the $30 off just by saying those words. So I'll put a link to their Discord in there as well. But in my Discord here, there's access to tutorials, and in here you only get access to these tutorials by getting to VIP, and the only way you get access to VIP is by answering the 8 questions, that technical questions that you need to pass. You can only pass those 8 technical questions if you watched and listened and learned from the I Want to Be Free PDF that gets sent to you with all the instructions and details of really important things that you need to know before you come and join my Discord, because we have quite a unique community over here. I think we've got some of the best brains in the world over in my Discord. You get a VIP, and then you get access to the tutorials, all the codes, the Qbox. I've got a specialized Qbox section here, JavaScript code, Dicebot code as well. Just jump back there. I don't want to show anything too sensitive. So you can only gain access. And once you gained access to VIP, then there is this 3 videos in the tutorials that starts off from the beginning, setting up Alphaverse in 3 parts. So you need to watch, digest and learn those parts before you can even attempt to try and run Alphaverse yourself, because it is not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. Many people are coming and attempting and thinking giving up because they haven't realised how complicated it is to get up and running. You have to think about a lot of things. And then when you've done all that, all you need to do is speak out in chat, say that you're interested in joining Alphaverse, and then if you're VIP, then you get made a member of the Alphaverse Intent group. There's an Alphaverse Intent chat, which I'm not going to show here, where there's other like-minded people who want to join Discord, can communicate with each other in my Discord. And then the process of how you gain access to Alphaverse is the only route to do it. And I have a separate Alphaverse Discord server here, which I'm not even going to click in because there's a lot of very sensitive stuff in there. Because one of the things that we non-disclosure, we signed up and everything, you get to find out who I really am, and I reveal a lot of stuff. So I definitely won't be. There's a lot of private stuff under there, and that's where my latest videos. So all my private videos on YouTube, they're all these private videos. They're only available in the Alphaverse Discord. And literally, the private have locked them down. So apologies if that was a lot to take in, especially if you've never seen Alphaverse before. You don't know what the hell it is. come and join. Look, have a look at my YouTube channel. Look at this video here. This is the Alphaverse one. Then look at this one here. This is the strategy I'm running. Then obviously you can join my Discord. It'll be in the description of this video, and then you can start. Your journey starts there. So I've got nothing more to add. So all yous out there that are currently running Alphaverse, I wish every one of you the best of luck, and I hope everything goes as well as it's going for me. All those interested, I don't want to repeat myself, but you know the process. Come and join me in Discord. Right, I'm going to end in videos there, guys. Keep these videos short, otherwise I just end up waffling on for ages. By the way, I've had some shocking bad slot sessions. So I have been recording them. Let me know if you want to see them, but they're so fucking awful. A lot of, I feel a bit guilty because I tend to only sort of show my videos when I win, but actually that's not a true reflection of gambling. We've certainly on slots. I've had some nasty losses on slots, but I've got a really good VIP host. I get some of it back, but I'm avoiding playing slots at the moment. I'm just focused purely on Alphaverse, and what Alphaverse has given me is freedom. And for these last 2 weeks, I've barely been at my keyboard. I've been AFK pretty much for the last 2 weeks. So that's it there, guys. I'm going to stop waffling on, hand over to you guys, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.